All right, we're going to start the post-race media availabilities for the 14th Subway Firecracker 250 at Daytona International Speedway. We are joined by our second place finisher, Elliott Sadler, the driver of the number one main financial Ford. Elliott, you put together your best finish of the season in pretty dramatic fashion tonight. Talk a little bit about those final two laps.
Well, it's definitely a disappointing night for us. We were definitely in the catbird seat there. Going in the back straightaway, we had Joey Logano pushing us, and we had a lot of momentum coming off turn two, and we're making our way to the front. And I just think Brian or either a spotter just made the block just too late. I was already up to his right rear tire, and he made the block too late and wrecked us. And it's nothing intentional. It's just racing. It just stinks that that happened to us. So. Two restricted plate races in a row at Talladega and Daytona. We were in really good shape with less than 4 laps to go, and couldn't pull it off. But tonight really stings because we were fast all night, running the top 4 or 5 all night, and then the wreck happened. So second place is a good finish. It's our best finish of the year, but it's that's not what we came to Daytona to do. But we'll have to take it and move on.
All right, we're also joined by our third place finisher, Chase Elliott, the driver of the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Chase, you had a couple of close calls out there at the end. Take us through those final 2 laps as well.
Yeah, just I'm very excited to finish third tonight. The Daytona and Talladega hadn't been very good to us really this year or last year, so happy to just have a decent finish and bring a car home that's not completely tore up. So. I didn't do anything special to miss any of those wrecks, just kind of in a decent spot, and things kind of cleaned themselves out. And unfortunately, hadn't been on that end very much here, especially not in February, but it was good to kind of be able to miss a couple things tonight and get a top 5. I felt like we needed it for sure, and we'll try to build and hopefully win some races here soon.
All right, we'll take questions for both Elliott and Chase. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. And state your name and affiliation. We'll start here with Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. For Elliott, at that point in the race, do you kind of expect somebody to try to block when you're right there, or was that totally unexpected?
Yeah, of course you're supposed to block if you're leading, but I just think he just misjudged. I don't know if he didn't know our closure rate was that fast. I don't know if he knew Joey and I were running that much faster than he was, and just tried to make the block late. He came up a little bit, I think, just trying to bluff, and then he kind of went back to the bottom. Then it must have been like his spotter must have told him the top line's moving, because then he really came, and when he came, it was way too late, and we weren't even close to him. We had so much momentum. I was trying to keep some air between he and I, so he couldn't drag me down, and he just made a late block. I mean, it is what it is. It's just it's frustrating. We've had 8 problems in 14 races this year, and felt like Daytona was a good one to kind of get some things going our way, and it just wasn't meant to be.
How badly damaged was the car?
Yeah, we came out good. You knocked both front fenders in, but my tire wasn't flat, so I wouldn't pit early. And I told Phil, I'm not pitting early. My tires are not flat, so we can restart up where we're supposed to instead of the tail end. We thought we were going to be 8th or 9th, and then when we start passing cars going back up front, we got to restart behind Chase in 5th. But the splitter was on the ground, and my right front fenders were knocked in. Both front fenders were knocked in, so I knew I couldn't lead unless it was right at the end. So my plan was to push Chase, and see what would happen. And then I got a run on the outside of him off of turn 4. But the guys did a good job putting it back together. But it's just tonight was what could have been really race.
We're also now joined by our 5th place finisher, Benny Gordon, driver of the number 66 Somerset Regional Water Resources VSI Chevrolet. Benny, this was a tremendous finish in your first start of the 2015 season. Talk a little bit about what it means to get such a great finish in your debut this season.
Well, this was second start, so we ran Talladega was our first start, and we finished 13th, which was a good run for us. We bought that team, new team, Larry Mostaller and Frank Verichetti gave me a good opportunity with a good piece, and we built that car in 6 days to take it to Talladega, just hoping to make sure we get in the race and end up with a 13th run and 13th place finish. Had a good run, and give us a month off to take our time and work on that car really good. And it's been fast since we got here yesterday.
Awesome. We'll continue with questions up here with Holly.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Chase, is this finish perhaps showing us that you're feeling even more comfortable with this restrictor plate style of racing? And secondly, could you talk about the championship implications that this run had for you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it makes me feel any differently about plate racing or or anything. Like I said, it was just completely luck of the draw as to where I was running when those wrecks happened. The reason we missed it, it was absolutely nothing that I did. Just really lucked into it. So, as far as the points go, sure, yeah, I'm not even sure where the other guys finished, but the best way to gain points is to win races, and I think we need to do that to try to get it done this year. And we were able to do it last year, and I think we can do that this season. We just got to get after it and really do our job the second half of the season. This is if there's any part that counts, this is it. So we need to go get it done and try to capitalize and hopefully get some good, strong finishes to try to put ourselves in contention to win races.
We'll come back up here to Chris in the front.
Truth.
Chris Knight, CatchMass.com for Elliott and Chase. This is the start of a 15-race stretch for the Xfinity Series. Even though you guys didn't get to win, how important was it to start this stretch off on a good note?
Yeah, I think coming off of a weekend off, and Daytona is always kind of the first chapter of the next book. Just like Chase said, you kind of now's the time. If you want to make a push, you got to get some momentum on your side. It's the last restrictor plate race, and if you can scave out of here, even though neither one of us are probably happy with our finish overall, but if you can get a second or third here and move on, does build some momentum going to these 15 races. It's a lot of different tracks we're heading up to, but now is the time to make that push. In Daytona, every time you come into Daytona in July, the way I always look at it is always, all right, now we're starting that downhill, towards Homestead. So it's good to kind of get, that good first step to start this 15-race stretch. So it's important, yes.
Yeah, definitely an important race. The thing about this plate racing is that it rewards the same amount of points as the rest of them do, and that's can be really good or really bad. And for us, it's been very unfortunate the first couple times this season. So I was really happy just to finish today and get a top 5 was I thought really big. So like Elliott said, you're running into a long stretch. You're coming the second half of the season, and it's a lot of racing. It's a lot of hard weekends, a lot of travel for your guys. It's important to stay on top of your race cars and making sure you're trying to gain and not get behind in the race shop. I think a lot of how your luck that you create is created before you leave. So we need to make sure we stay on top of that side before we leave and make sure when we get there we have our best chance we can have to go and try to win some races.
Thanks. And for Benny, this was a new team, Performance Energy Group, debuting here today at Daytona. What is your guys' schedule looking like for the rest of the season?
We're probably going to run 3 or 4 more races no matter what. That's what I want to do. So like these guys are saying, I just want to be prepared, take a good car to every race that I go to. So we're looking at running a full schedule next year. I just want to, take a month off in between each one. We're building all new cars and have brand new cars and cars that can compete when I go to the racetrack. So that's what the team's doing right now. They got excited after Talladega, wanted to go to the next race, wanted to go to Charlotte, and I said, no, we're going to stick to a plan. So we're going to go to Bristol. We run good at Bristol. We've always ran well there, so we're going to build a new car for that one, go to Richmond, and then Chicago, and then continue to build cars and prep for next season.
Do we have any additional questions for these 3 drivers? All right, Elliott, Chase, and Benny, thanks so much for your time
Thanks,
tonight.
guys.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening.